Hey guys, Matt from Art of the Image again. Working away here, as you can see behind me here, I've got the wall down. That terrible shelving that was hanging all up there. So that wall is nice and bare, and you can see up in the corners here, I've temporarily hung my hair lights. I say temporarily, they're there permanently, they're just clamp lights, but I have to obviously reposition them once I get everything set up. There's all the boards that was the shelving right there, and then over here is the main, I guess you could call them vertical beams, if you will. They were just 2x4s, very shoddily put together shelving, so I certainly didn't want any of that. As you could see out here in the empty rec room, I'm still waiting for my couches. That is my green screen muslin, and what I've done, I'll give you a little close-up here, is I have taken the 1x2, I don't know if you could see it in there, but it is strung through the end because the end has a sleeve sewn on it like a pocket, and then what I've done is I put a hook in it and I've got chain there. I'll show you the hooks I used here. Let's go over here where I've got the hardware. There's the eye hooks I used there. So medium screw eyes, 1 5/16. So I just drilled a little pilot hole and I put those in the ends of the 1x2. I attached the chain. I had some thinner chain that I was able to bend out the link and attach it. And then actually I needed to lengthen it, so I just used some zip ties to put some extra chain on. So I might change that out, but for now it's gonna work just fine. So we got chain on both ends. It's gonna be hanging in here. Let me show you where that's going. So that's why I have the step ladder here. You can see I've got the drill going there, and what we're going to do is we are going to put an eye hook, same kind that I put into the end of the 1x2. It's going to go up there in the rafter, and then over here on the opposing rafter. So we've got, good 10, 12 feet. Let me grab the tape measure and just tell you guys how wide that actually is down here. So I just checked with the measuring tape. It is 12 feet width, so that's from that side over to that side. And then the length of this room is actually somewhere between 23 and 24 inches. There's some junk down there, so I don't think the tape measure was exactly at the wall. 12 by 24 sounds like probably an exact measurement of how they would have done the room, but it did seem to be maybe 23 and a few inches. In any case, you got approximately 24 feet long, 12 feet wide. Not a huge studio, but a decent size. I think it's bigger than what I had before, especially taking into account some of the limitations. So I'm gonna get these eyes up into the rafters, and then I'll show you once we have the green screen hooked up. Okay, we got her hung. Got it pretty much balanced. I'll be able to tweak it because I've got it hung on chains, so I can up on one side or lower on the other, whatever I need to do. I can also roll it so that it's, because we got, I forget what this thing is. It's, I think, a 12 by 15 or something like that. Have a look here. I'll back up. That is the, I've got one of the hair lights on. You can see it adds some light in here, but there's the green screen hung. We're covering pretty much the whole wall here at this point. We've got maybe a foot and a bit on either side. So all I've done up in the corners here is put an eye in the ceiling there. Let me see if I can get a little better focus there. And then the same thing over here. We've got another eyelet up there, and you can see, and then I just used an S hook. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some hand clamps on the top of that, because I noticed it does seem to want to unroll if it gets any weight. And the idea here is to put this piece, that other 1x2, which is right there on the floor. There you could see my newer scissor boom arm that you normally see on my desk with the AT2020. But yeah, we're gonna put that piece on the bottom down there, and that should hopefully pull out most of the wrinkles. So I'm gonna put that on there. There's not a pocket on the bottom, so I may just use some gaffer's tape and then roll it, and maybe a clamp as well. I gotta get my clamps. So I'm going to check that out, get that done, and hopefully that will pull out most of the wrinkles. And I may get one of those hand steamers like the ladies use for wedding dresses, something like that. I'm sure you've probably seen them at Walmart or on Amazon, and I may steam it out that way. So once it's hung for a bit, should pull out most of the wrinkles. Bear in mind too though, that usually we're not shooting at a really deep aperture, so I try to shoot as wide open as possible so I can stay at a low ISO, especially with the Micro Four Thirds, or even with this, the LX10. It's easy to maintain a better depth of field because they're smaller sensors, but still the LX10 does f1.4 wide, so we should be able to blow out the backdrop a fair bit and get those wrinkles not showing, and then we'll just see how we have to tweak it in Adobe Premiere Pro. So I'm just going to play with this some more, and I'll show you as we go along any refinements I've done once I've got some more lights hung up and whatnot. We'll be back in a bit.